She redefines femininity for me. Kate Winslet on playing legendary World War II correspondent. Kate Winslet is no stranger to the silver screen. She made impact with her performance in Titanic, continued to impress in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and recently won the Emmy, Golden Globe, and SAG Awards for Best Actress for her role in Mare of Easttown. As her career progresses, Winslet is taking on new roles that challenge her, with her new film, Lee, being no exception. In an interview with IndieWire, Kate Winslet revealed how important playing Lee Miller was to her. Her life was incredibly rich and full. She lived many different versions of that life in her gigantic chapter. She went to war as a flawed, complicated, and determined middle-aged woman. She redefines femininity for me to mean resilience, courage, compassion, and strength. It was vital for the actress that when portraying Miller that she would be seen in the correct light, someone who was fearless, intelligent, and hardworking. She explained, "If you were to Google her in 2015, which is when I first started developing the script, it would say, the former muse and ex-lover of Man Ray, former CoverGirl, ex-Vogue model." These sort of slightly sexualized, infantilizing labels that had been stuck on her. Furthermore, when the script called for nudity, Winslet insisted that the character not be ogled in any sort of way, and that nudity symbolized Miller's freedom and agency. When asked about this depiction, Winslet responded with, "She was flawed and she was emotionally fractured at times, but she was very free, accepting and intact with her relationship with her physical self. I found that to be not just refreshing, but vital, especially now." Lee was a contemporary woman 80 years ago. She redefined femininity to mean all the extraordinary things that we as women now are living our lives with. Lee Miller was an American war correspondent for Vogue during World War II. Originally, she was a model-turned-photographer, eventually becoming a photojournalist after D-Day. She is known for capturing the Blitz, the liberation of Paris, as well as the Dachau and Buchenwald concentration camps and, most famously, being photographed in Adolf Hitler's bathtub in his Munich apartment, coincidentally on the day he committed suicide. After the war, she suffered from depression, which her son, Anthony Penrose, who worked as a creative consultant on the film, believed she had PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. She went to the World War II front lines and was the visual voice for the victims of conflict for the female readers of British Vogue at a time when women were not given permission to. I asked her son, Anthony Penrose, a creative consultant on the film, and a very close collaborative partner of mine, why all the other cinematic attempts never actually came to light, she explained. And he just said, quite honestly, people didn't really get her. There was something about how I wanted to tell her story that landed for him and gave him a degree of closure. It took almost a decade for the project to get off the ground. While Winslet has executive-produced projects before, she fully produced Lee. When I've executive-produced on television pieces in the past, what that really means is you have meaningful creative considerations when it comes to making some of the important decisions. But the role of a producer is the person who starts the project. They often get it going. They're the ones who put a bit of financing sometimes behind it to keep it afloat. You find the writers, you find the director, you find the cast, the crew, the locations, all of it. I couldn't feel more privileged and grateful.